they can't hear yet. Okay, so we've started recording. The first thing I would like to do is to go over our agenda for today. So I'm going to share the screen and find our agenda. But for some reason, it's not popping up. All right, let me try this again. Here's the agenda. Share screen. There it is. Okay, can everyone see the agenda? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so can you see the agenda?
I can see it.
Okay, good. So these are the things that I've been going over with everyone today, and I'll try and be consistent and make it general for all committees, for those that weren't able to attend today, and then specific for your committee as well. So the first thing for me to go over is the expectation of our committees this year. Talk about our theme shirts or orientation and staff pictures. Go over resources that are in our DEA internal site. Go over our DEA public website, talk about updates that have occurred even since yesterday's school board work session and school board meeting. And then we will review our DEA reopening plan, and then I will answer any questions that you have. So the first thing to go over is our committee expectations. So each time I change to a different platform, I need to stop sharing, and then I need to share my screen once again. So I'm going to go to the DEA internal site, and you're welcome to do so as well on your device. And I will share that with you. Okay, so now you should see our DEA internal website. Yesterday, our leadership team met and we went over the August calendar. So this is everything that we know as of right now for the month of August for everyone. Teachers will report back to work on the 17th. Paras will report back to work on the 20th, which is our orientation day. And then students will report back on the 24th. Now, I did listen to the school board work study session and school board meeting, and they have called for a special school board meeting on August 14th with the school board members, the cabinet, and then one of the medical doctors that's been a part of the task force meetings. And they will be determining what the numbers are like in Polk County at that time and whether it is safe for us to continue and proceed with our plans for our students to return on the 24th. So patience and grace, mercy, and flexibility are certainly appreciated at this time and definitely very challenging as well. Okay, so the next thing on our DEA internal site I would like to share with you is there's the committee's link, and that's where all the minutes for our committee meetings will be held. All the minutes from last year are in this link, and so you can review that. But I want to go to our staff handbook, which the last I've updated the staff handbook was on July 12th. So I'm going to click on view for that, and it should be opening on your screen as we speak. And I'm going to go down to the committee section. So we have 5 committees at our school. Everyone on our staff participates in a committee. Our school advisory council consists of our grade chairs. They're the green team, and they meet monthly as indicated on our calendar. This committee that's here with us right now is our Positive Behavior Intervention Support Committee. And what you see here is teacher contract language. Every school is required to have a committee such as this. And kudos to everyone on this team because we received our recognition a couple weeks ago that we are a gold model PBIS school for the 2nd year in a row. And that is thanks to all of your hard work. This committee typically meets on our early dismissal days. If I remember correctly, that was around 2:30. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want to continue with that time? Or do you want to change it to a different time or day?
I really like the early release days just because we usually need a good hour or a little more depending on things. But I like having that hour on early release. It just gives us enough time to really talk and get what we need done, and we don't have to stay terribly long after school.
So if I remember correctly, the IB committee met at 1:30 on those days, PBIS was at 2, and data leadership was at 2:30. Is that correct?
I believe so, because you usually were jumping back and forth.
Okay, so I'll continue with that plan for this year. And all of our committee meetings this year are going to be held virtually through this format. If you'd like to meet face-to-face as we're going through, you're welcome to do that. But we will be having some staff members that will be working with eCampus and some that will be here on campus. So I want to make sure that everyone will still be participating in their designated committees. Our third committee, whoop, I guess I went too far. Use my arrows. Third committee is our data leadership committee. That's our purple team. And according to the teacher contract, that's the student concerns committee. Our fourth committee is our IB red team, and they're our curriculum committee. Our fifth team is our PTSA, which is the yellow team. And then we have 4 teachers that are on the backup team, and that's for those grade levels that have 6 staff members, and they fill in when a staff member is not able to participate. So those are the responsibilities of our committees, and the days and times that our committees meet, again, are marked on our calendar for SAC and PTSA, and then we'll add those on if they're not there already for our staff for IB, PBIS, and data leadership. Any questions about our committees at our school? Okay. So next up on our agenda is to talk about our theme shirts and expectations for that. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I have our PBIS team shirts. They're blue this year. I can't see Miss Royer. She was gonna wear her shirt today. She got hers yesterday. So this is what the blue team shirts look like. They have our new theme for the year, Reading Around the World. And then on the back of the shirts, they have our learner profile attributes. We usually wear our shirts on orientation so that students and families can identify us easily, but orientation is going to be a bit different. We'd still like for you to wear your shirts. That would be great. And I'd still love a group picture. Miss Gann said she would help me yesterday. So if you all take a picture of yourself when you get your shirts, put them together in a collage. You can't do a staff picture. Is that right, Miss Gann?
Yes, I had to unmute myself. But yes, we're going to make a collage.
Thank you. I always like having the staff picture hanging in the office and in the cafeteria. All right, next up on our agenda is orientation. So you may have heard by now that orientation is going to be virtual. So that will be still on our orientation day as scheduled, but it will be done virtually for everyone that has been at our school previously. It will be face-to-face for those that are new to our school, for example, preschool, kindergarten, and anyone that's been newly added to our school in grades 1 through 5. So we're going to have to be very creative with how we're going to do that. I spoke with Ms. Burgos and the SAC team just a little bit ago about making a schedule for that. So that'll be coming as we know how many students are face-to-face, how many students are eCampus, and so we will do orientation virtually. Any questions about orientation at this time?
I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Ms. Lewis, and welcome.
So you said, I'm sorry, I might have missed it. I know you said that orientation for new students, that's just was it for every grade level that has new students or just like our incoming kindergarten?
Every grade level that has new students, so they know where to go. You know, kids that have been at our school, they know where everyone's classroom is more or less, or we can direct them more or less. But anyone new to our school, that's going to be very awkward and difficult and slow down our first day procedures if they don't know where to go.
Right, okay.
So we'll figure that out. Any other questions about orientation at this time?
Yes, this is Miss Gann. So will teachers be on campus and do it virtually on campus, or will they be doing it from home?
So if they're a face-to-face teacher, they would be doing it virtual, or they will be doing it virtually, but on campus virtually. So, you know, they can be giving a tour of their classroom, you know, going over all the things that you normally go over at orientation. If they're an eCampus teacher, that's going to depend on where their eCampus classroom is. Teachers have the choice to have their eCampus classroom be their classroom here at school, or they can set up a classroom at their home, whatever they prefer. So wherever their eCampus classroom is going to be, that's where their orientation is going to be.
Okay, so for specials, I want to clarify. So are specials teachers supposed to be on campus orientation day?
That's my understanding, yes, because you're going to be a
Okay.
face-to-face teacher here, yeah.
Ms.
Okay, I'm
Tatum,
just clarifying.
Okay, yes, Ms. Squire.
question for orientation. Is it going to be at the different times like what we had scheduled?
That's a
Like
good question.
9?
Let me go to the calendar real quick, which will require me sharing. I have to open it first, and then I have to share it with y'all. So our calendar is found on our DEA public page. I'm gonna open it up real quick, and this was as of the 24th. Now I did update it yesterday with some feedback that I got from kindergarten, but I have not had time to post that yet, and I still have some things I need to go over with 3rd grade that I have not been able to yet. Okay, can you all see the calendar now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the calendar right now has orientation scheduled on the 20th from 9 to 11 a.m. and 5:30 to 7 p.m. So I'm thinking those will be the times for students that have been to our campus before, and then we'll create something different for those that are new to our campus. I'm not 100% sure. I think we still need to work through those things. If you have any suggestions, I am open to them. Okay, so while we're here on the calendar, let me just go over anything in yellow has not been rescheduled yet. So like hearing screening, vision screening, school pictures, those things that are highlighted here still need to be rescheduled. All field trips have been moved to either virtual or after the first semester, which second semester starts, I believe, let's look, I think it's January 15th. January 15th is the end of the first semester, so it'd be January 19th or afterwards. We can start looking at field trips for now, unless things change again. Now this calendar, the agendas arrive tomorrow, I believe, and this calendar is not the calendar that's in the agenda. So we have one of 2 ways we're going to handle it. It sounds like the second way is better. The first way is just ripping out the calendar. The second way is getting full page labels and then taking the full page labels and putting them over top of the calendar that's in there. So it sounds like from what I've heard so far today that folks would like to do that. But let me know what you all prefer. Okay, any questions about our calendar so far? Okay, so I'll move on. So we have gone over committee expectations, our new shirts, orientation. So now I'm going to share the DEA internal site, and I'm going to go over everything that is new on our DEA internal site that you would like to go over and review. So we've already gone over the August calendar right here. Now we added a new link this week right here that says COVID plan. So when you click on that link, this page will open, and there are a plethora of documents that we went over at our principal meeting last week. So I will quickly go over those with you. You're welcome to look at them in more detail as you have free time. I'm happy to answer questions that you may have. The first 2 documents are about volunteers. So I'll start with the first document. The district's going to determine whether we are in a green, yellow, or red state. So right now, there will be no parents coming on campus like we're used to for breakfast or for lunch. No one will be walking their child in on the first day of school into class like we're used to, and there will be no volunteers at this time. When the district determines that we are in the yellow phase, then the second document here is what we will use for volunteers. They will still need to have clearance through the district as our normal approved volunteers. They will set up volunteer training. We've got that already marked on the calendar with Kaylee who's our new IB coordinator and gifted teacher. She will be doing the volunteer training. And when we're in the yellow phase, I will take the volunteer's temperature and note it on this form, and the volunteer will mark how they're doing. If they have any COVID-19 symptoms, they will not be volunteering on our campus. So this is the form that will be used to approve volunteers on our campus when we are in the yellow phase. When we're in the green phase, then we'll just proceed like normal. And then for staff, just so you know, your sign-in procedures every day will be different than what you're used to. You are expected to take your own temperature every morning, and you are expected to come to work symptom-free. If you are having COVID-19 symptoms, you are expected to stay home, and we will, you will schedule a sub for yourself and make sure that your duties are covered, and we'll work with you on that. We are also asking teachers to do 3 weeks of sub-plans, emergency sub-plans, in the event that you do need a quarantine at home. I was talking to a friend of mine, and for work every day they get an email through SurveyMonkey where they have to document their own personal temperature, and they have to check off these same exact things that are on this form, indicating that they're symptom-free, and then at the end of the day, that's their sign-out sheet as well, and they document that they're feeling symptom-free at the end of the day going home. So be on the lookout for more information pertaining to how we're going to sign in and sign out every day. Any questions about volunteers? Okay, the next document is about how transportation will be operating. For our buses, there will be sanitizing, hand sanitizer when they walk on the bus. They will have their hands cleaned. They will sit in assigned seats, 2 students per seat with a mask on the bus. And so those are the procedures for the bus riders. There's a document here about school nutrition. There'll be grab and go breakfast in the morning. Lunches will be served. And I'll be meeting with Ms. Gammon when she returns to work to go over all of our procedures. In terms of the cafeteria, we were sitting 16 students to a table in the cafeteria. We are now sitting 6 to a table facing the same direction, and we have more tables in the cafeteria as of Tuesday. So those are our lunch procedures. We would like for all of our teachers to have their duty-free lunch, so we have the cafeteria set up in that manner. However, if teachers would like to have lunch with their students in the classroom using their social distance, they're welcome to do that. If you want to use the butterfly garden or the tables behind Miss Gann and Miss Bishop's room, or some of the other outdoor areas that we have, you're welcome to do that with your class as well. Ms. Rebel and I have reviewed the school library documents. Students will be checking out books. They'll be quarantined for a period of time when they return them. There's information in this document about school safety and school security, which we will be following at our school. There's a document about mental health facilitator roles and responsibilities. So I know Ms. Kizzy's probably already seen that, and that's there for you, Ms. Kizzy, whenever you need it as well. Is there anything, Ms. Kizzy, you want to mention about this document?
I don't think so. Not
Okay.
really sure what it says.
Okay, all right, when you get a chance,
But
just
I'm
look
here.
it over. And if you have any, well, we can just pull it up real quick right now, just so you know what's on the document.
Oh, I know what form it is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that before. So this is just, what is your role as our mental health facilitator?
Yep, there it is.
There it is. Okay, next, oops. All right, somehow I've lost where I was. Give me a second. Can you all see my screen again?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, good. All right, so where were we? The mask letter to principals. So, we all have our masks that we've been purchasing and using. In the event that a staff member or a student comes to campus without a mask, they have provided us with masks for every child and every staff member, 5 per person. So those are here on campus. There are 2 district letters pertaining to fine arts. So we will be having art and music and PE and all of our specials on schedule as we usually have. I met with Coach last week, and I know our dots outside coincidentally are exactly 6 feet apart. That's a beautiful coincidence. We will be having music on schedule. We will be having art on schedule. And we will be helping with the transition of the students to and from the classes so that they can properly sanitize in between the class periods. Any questions? I know Ms. Razzo's not, oh, Ms. Gann's on with us. Sorry, I'm back in the last committee meeting last time. Ms. Gann, is there anything else I'm forgetting in terms of specials that you would like to talk about?
No, I don't really have anything. Hold on, sorry. I was reaching out the car to pick up the doggy. I don't really have anything except for the fact that I'm assuming that the teachers will know that we are going to be working with e-learning students as well, correct?
Correct, yes. And so what we were talking about this past week is, you know, the teachers that are the eCampus teachers, whenever you're scheduled for Ms. Gann, for example, she's going to have a pre-recorded lesson in Schoology that your students would log into and work on at that time. Is that correct, Ms. Gann?
Yes. And do you know if music and art and PE are going to offer the same thing?
I believe that's what Coach said for PE, and then Ms. Gonzalez asked if she could meet with me, and I need to follow up with Ms. Razzo just to make sure that we're consistent.
Okay, because I just wanted the regular teachers to know and understand what was going to be happening with specials in regards to the fact that for those of us that are face-to-face, we are also going to be working with the students that are e-learning.
Right. So everybody will be having their specials,
Yes.
whether they're
So
face-to-face or they're virtual.
Yeah, so as of this moment, that's all I have in regards to specials.
Okay. Other things that are in this folder after fine arts is the Department of Education executive order about schools reopening. So if you have any questions or anyone else does, you can refer them to that document. There's critical updates from student support. I'll just show you what that looks like briefly. And this talks about students with 504 plans, the Mark Wilcox Center, social work services, psychological services, and what procedures they're following at this time. Next are two documents on the cleaning process. And so we are having a custodial services meeting to review that. One of the things we'll be talking about in just a little bit is every classroom is going to be inspected by Ms. Detling every day to make sure that there is the hand washing poster and enough soap and paper towels and things like that. And so that'll be checked daily. And then there's behavior and mental health updates here as well. And I heard a lot of discussion yesterday at both the school board meeting and the work study session about the supports and services that are available to us. And we are in the school improvement zone over here. Okay, so those are all the documents that we have recently added to our DEA internal site. Other things that are on our DEA internal site. We've gone over the handbook, the schedule. Let's go over the schedule real quick. That is in here and it was updated last on the 23rd. So that was last week. I don't think anything has changed. We're all starting at 8:15. We're ending at 3:15. School-wide, we start with Harmony and Calendar Math. And then as students are learning either face-to-face or eCampus, they will be following the same schedule. So the schedule is there. Are there any questions about the schedule? Okay, let's see. I think I've gone over everything that's new on our DEA internal site here that you may want to know, but if anything else comes up, just let me know.
Ms. Tatum, I have a couple questions, and I know some people dropped some questions in the chat feature.
Oh, good. Can you keep monitoring that for me? Tell me what the questions are and I'll answer them.
Yeah, so Ms. Starr, she asked, what's the protocol for classroom libraries?
That's good. So let's go into, let me go back to the DEA internal site because I would think that that would be the same procedures as our school library. So let's go back to that COVID plan. And mine's still sharing, right? You can still see my screen?
Yeah, we can still see it.
Awesome. Okay, everyone can see this?
Mhm.
Okay. Uh-oh. Where are the words? There, okay. We had them for a minute. Okay, recommendations for school libraries. Can everyone see this or do I need to make it larger? I'll make it a little bit bigger. Maybe it's just me and my old eyes, I don't know.
Oh, Bailey needs to be let back in the room too. She got kicked out.
I thought I did. No? It shows she's in.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so one class at a time in the media center, open checkouts allowed, use social distancing. Okay, so for check-in, they're recommending a hands-free scanner, which you don't have to worry about that in the classroom. Shelving of books, disinfecting, cleaning books with disinfectant wipes is not recommended. Wipes create moisture, causing damage to books, and moisture can also lead to mold and mildew when books are placed on shelves. That's just about the cleanliness of the tables. Now, I thought it said in here, I remember somebody saying a 72-hour quarantine. So I would think that that would be the same thing. Here we go, 48 to 72 hours. So in a classroom library, when a student is done with a book, we probably need to have a space where we keep it for 48 to 72 hours before another student touches it. Does that answer that
Okay.
question?
Yeah, so like one of the things I was thinking about was having them use their book baggies and then they keep their books in there for a period of time and then we have a certain day where we like check them back in so they can like get new books. And so you're just saying whenever they check them back in, just like leave them out for 48 to 72 hours.
I think that's a great idea. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And another question that's on here, Amber asked about the transitions with specials. How is that going to be? Will it be the same, or is there a difference? Like, and she was specifically asking, also in regards to PE, like with meeting on the blacktop and switching, like just in general, like how are we going to switch with transitions for specials?
So for PE in particular, what I'm thinking, and again, that you all can discuss that further. One of you would be transitioning the students, and one of you would be making sure that any equipment is being cleaned and sanitized. And then as far as the other specials, we're going to be having support staff that will pick up the students and walk them. So the specials teachers, like Miss Razzo, for example, would not be walking the class anywhere so that she has time to properly sanitize what she needs to sanitize.
Okay. And Sarah is asking, what are the guidelines for hands-on ESC classrooms? How do they social distance their students?
The same as the other classrooms. The same, and we'll go over that in our school plan in just a few moments.
Okay. And then I had a question about additional furniture. So in my classroom, I only have like 5 tables, but I would need more furniture to be able to socially distance. Are we getting more furniture in classrooms that need more furniture?
I would talk with Mr. Paul. What we were told is that we need to, I called the warehouse. We did get more tables for the cafeteria to maintain social distance, but we need to work amongst ourselves and the students that are doing face-to-face learning and use the furniture that we have here on campus. The chain supply and getting more furniture delivered is very unlikely to happen before school starts. So we need to work with what we have, and if there are other things that we need, we're going to do our best to get everybody what they need.
Okay.
And I know many of you have already been here setting up your classrooms, and they're looking great so far.
And when will we know what our assignment is going to be, so to speak? Like if we're going to be a face-to-face teacher or if we're going to be an e-learning teacher for, because I know it will depend on like what the students and their parents, like what they responded to saying what their preferences were. Do you guys know when we will, do you guys have a I guess a date when we'll know like exactly what we're going to be assigned, so to speak?
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be this week, but at the work session and the board meeting yesterday, and you've received all the emails about it, if staff, after everything and all of the decisions that were changed and made up until yesterday, if staff would like to change their request, they have till the end of the day tomorrow to do that. And we have about half of the parents district-wide, so there's about 105,000 children in the district. And I remember them saying 55,000 have made their selection so far. So they have extended the window for parents to make their selection through Sunday, I believe it is. And so hopefully next week you will get your assignment once we know exactly what our numbers are, and make sure that parents are requesting what their preference is, and then we match staff with it. But at this time, from what I've seen, I think that everyone is going to remain here at our school, remain in their current grade, and we have a lot of flexibility with what our staff has asked to do. So I think we're going to be just fine. But next week, I hope to have more information.
Okay. And
Ms. Tatum?
Yes.
Go ahead, Kim. No, go ahead, Kim.
I was just gonna say, sorry, another question popped up.
Oh, no, that's okay. Go through the, is that everything from the chat box, or is there more?
There was one more question that just popped up.
Okay, go ahead.
From Ms. Clark. She wanted to know approximately how many students will be in each classroom face to face? Like, is that number gonna change? Like, are we still trying to fill the classrooms like we normally would up to their capacity, or is it?
Yeah, that's our goal, is to have our campus full and all of our teachers remain at our school. That's our goal, is to keep everybody right where they belong with us here.
Okay, I'm done. There's no more. There, yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Ms. Tatum, earlier we were talking about the teacher funds, and I did email Mr. Pitts. He's no longer with us. So Ms. Melba Mayo responded, yes, and she said, "Dear Ms. Barr, good morning. Mr. Pitts is no longer with us. The funds will be available at the end of September, according to the Florida statute. The district is still talking about how we will do this for this school year, and we'll receive more information in the future. But right now, she doesn't have a lot of information because the board is still in conversation."
Okay, thank you so much for that update. I appreciate it. All right, let me go through one more time. I believe I have shared everything I wanted to share that's new on our DEA internal site for today. And now I'm going to transition to our public website. So I think I have to stop sharing that screen. And then I have to go here and I need to share this screen. Can everyone see our DEA public website now? Yes?
Yes, and Ms. Tatum, sorry, Ms. Rory got kicked out. And then whenever you're done with this, there was another question that popped up in the chat box.
Is she, okay, I see she's in the waiting room. I'm admitting her right now, thank you. All right, hold on to the chat box. Let me go through this section and then we'll go back to the chat box. So this is our DEA public site, which we're about to get a facelift, and it's gonna move to the new site, but it hasn't happened yet. So I've been trying to update this site as best as I can. So I'm gonna start with a staff link here at the top, and I've updated all of our staff changes, which there's nothing new in the first section. The first new person that you'll see on our staff page is Miss Gwen in 3rd grade. And then in 4th grade, we have Miss Rodriguez, Grizel Rodriguez, who will be in Miss Adcock's room. We have Marcia Starzetsky, who will be in Miss Lorton's room. And actually, Rebecca Roll is going to be in 5th grade in Miss Derby's place. Miss Derby's decided to stay home with Elijah, and we have a position posted and interviews tomorrow for this 4th grade classroom right here. And then Miss Roll's picture, I'll move down to Miss Derby's spot when I have a free moment. On our ESE team, Miss Kayla Rodriguez will be in Miss Massey's position. I need to move Lisette off of this page. I realized earlier I have her on here twice. Miss Paneras will be in Miss Bodison's room as one of her paras. Miss Homard is our gifted teacher in Miss Cobble's place. Our specials teachers have remained the same. Kaylee Smith is our new IB coordinator and gifted teacher coming from West Palm Beach. And last but not least, we have Mr. Rodriguez, Felix Rodriguez, who's transferred here into Miss Santiago's position. And then Lisette is down here in our para section because she's going to be working with kindergarten and 1st grade. So that is our staff page. Let's see if I can scroll up to the top here. There's my scroll bar. All right, new under policies, a parent sent me a message over the weekend that we had not updated our dress code in a bit. So if anyone asked about dress code, it is marked here. I have had several parents, a surprising number, contact me asking if kids have to wear uniforms for e-campus learning. They don't have to, but it certainly sets the expectation that it is school time and, you know, we're doing business. They certainly can't be wearing pajamas or things like that during e-campus learning. So that's a discussion for the e-campus teachers to have with your families. The supply list is here. It has been updated, and any requests that you have, I got a couple more today. So if there's anything you wanted added or deleted, let me know and I'll just keep making those changes. I did put a spot at the top that several things on the list might be difficult in getting, like wipes, for example. Some days you go to the store and there's wipes available, and other days you go to the store and you can't find them, and there's none on Amazon. So we're just going to do the best that we can. We know that a lot of families are struggling and going through difficult times financially. And then other families have called and said, I bought extra supplies to help with anyone that's going through a hard time. So the supply list is there. If there's anything that you want added or changed, just let me know and I'll make those updates as they come. And I believe that's everything that I wanted to go over on the DEA public website. And I'll take any questions that you have or anything from the chat box for this item at this time.
I have a statement real quick. This is Ms. Gann.
Hi, Ms. Gann.
When it comes to e-learning and the expectations, I know that at the end of the school year, there were quite a few students who did e-learning with no shirts on, and it was particularly male students. But then a lot of work was submitted with photographs where kids had no shirts on or very skimpy clothing on. So that definitely needs to be addressed with our e-learning teachers, that no submission should be sent in that has any, in fact, if they're submitting work that has themselves in it, they should be in a uniform.
Absolutely.
But I won't go that far. But at any rate, there were a lot of shirtless situations, just to make note of that.
Yes. Yes. So I would, at the eCampus teachers, as part of orientation, need to make that a part of their orientation, that they need to be, anything that videos made or things like that should be in school uniform. Absolutely. Okay. Anything else in the chat box, Ms. Lewis?
Yes. Miss Sarah was asking, she was still asking for some further clarification about the ESC pre-K. They normally have to hold a student's hands. Will they still be able to do that, or is there a better way that they need to do that based on, you know, the safety protocols and procedures?
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to the ESC pre-K department for that. I'm gonna say there's gonna be no physical contact at this time, and there's gonna be social distancing at this time based on everything that I have heard within all of the work study sessions and task force meetings.
A possible solution to that would be to get a longer rope and color code the rope for each student so that they hold the rope at a certain distance from each other.
That's great. Then
That's
they're
a
learning their
possibility.
measurement skills and color skills as well.
Yeah, so that's a possible solution. Whether or not it's acceptable or not, I don't know, but you know, we have to think out of the box, just like I was talking yesterday with Star about the classroom arrangement, you know. So it can be done, we just have to be creative.
Right. Okay, next up on our DE website, congratulations to all of us for our Magnet Schools of Excellence Award, and as well our PBIS Gold Model School Award. So the next link I want to go over is this one that says reopening overview at DEA. And again, this was as of the 27th. So I do need to change that and update it again because changes were made at the school board meeting last night. Let me see if I can find the document. 1 second. Sorry, I thought I had it pulled up, but it did not pull up. There it is.
Miss Tatum,
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. While you're looking for that, I had responded back to the Miss Melba about the funds, asking her if, because I know like sometime in July we were able to buy it and then we'll be reimbursed. But she says as of right now, do not buy anything expecting to be reimbursed.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I'm done.
So if there's anything that you need, contact Jennifer Williams and we will do our best at this time to purchase whatever it is that you feel like you absolutely need. But
Thank
know
you.
that our budget has only been loaded for half of the year. Our entire school budget has not been loaded. We only have half of what we usually have at this time. And they will load the other half second semester. All right, so this is our plan that we created last week. And like I said, it will be updated again based on everything that happened at the school board meeting last night and yesterday. So this is the link for the district school reopening. And then again, this is all old information, basically stating that parents had 3 options: face-to-face, e-campus learning, or both virtual. The deadline for parents, as I stated, has been extended through Sunday, so I will update that. And then staff, again, has until tomorrow afternoon to make their choice or to change their mind. You choose to change your mind. Then this talks about our enrollment at DEA. Whether you are face-to-face or e-campus, you are still a DEA student. And we are requesting at DEA that once you make your commitment, you stick with that commitment unless there's, some medical reason not to, for the first card marking. And then, of course, we'll be providing our same curriculum that we always provide, whether it's face-to-face or e-campus. Again, we're following the same school day. For technology, if someone is doing e-campus and they have a device checked out, they will keep that device and use that device. If they are doing face-to-face, they will return their device. If they are doing e-campus and there's more than one child in the family, each child will get to check out a device. It's not just one per family because every child will need to be logged in. We will continue following students' IEP, 504s, ELL plans. All of their services will be provided either face-to-face or virtually. Supply list, as I mentioned, has been uploaded. No one will be sharing supplies. My personal preference, if I were the classroom teacher, the students would have their supplies in their backpack. They bring them with them. They keep them on their chair. They put them back. They take them home. But I will leave that up to each teacher's discretion as long as supplies are not shared. I know some grade levels have asked for pencil boxes or pouches or things like that. So I will leave that up to you all to determine with your students. Face coverings, this is another thing that changed as of last night. Face coverings are required starting in kindergarten and recommended in pre-K. So kindergarten and up need to be wearing face coverings. And again, we have face coverings available. We've talked about bus riders. If anyone has a medical reason not to wear a face mask, we need a note from the doctor. Social distancing will be adhered to in the classroom as feasible and when possible. They recommend having the students facing in the same direction, but again, when feasible, when possible. We've already talked about schedules, supplies, walking patterns around the campus. Our lanes that we already have established are 6 feet apart. So students need to walk on the outside of the white line and they will be 6 feet apart if they do so. Arrival times, we've talked about bus riders, sanitation of their hands. We're installing a sanitation station at the car line, so everybody coming on campus will have clean hands and a face covering. On the first day of school, I'll be testing everybody's temperature, and then we'll rotate for the rest of that week, one day car riders, one day bus riders. We're required to test 20% every day, so like on Mondays, I'll do folks on the red team. On Tuesday, folks on the yellow team, green team, blue team, purple team. There's only 4 people on the orange team, so I will split those up. And as I'm walking around classrooms, I'll be randomly checking everyone's temperature. We're required to do 20% a day. Dismissal, I do not have dismissal figured out yet. I'm having nightmares about dismissal. But I know we're all going to work together, and I'm going to be calling on some of you to help me work through those procedures. School nutrition, I mentioned that briefly, and then our cleaning procedures are listed in here as well. So that is our DEA plan that's on our public website. The next thing I need to share with you is our document that is due tomorrow to the district And I'll show you what it looks like.
Can we take questions on what you just went over before you do that, or should we wait?
Let's wait because it's 1:45 and the next committee starts at 2. So I want to make
Okay.
sure that I can share this document with you, and then I'll open it up for questions. And if I don't finish in time, then I'll follow up with you all. Can everyone see this or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. There it is. Okay, so every school is completing a document such as this and turning it in to their regional by the end of the day tomorrow. And of course, this will be updated and changed as things are updated and changed. So the first thing is identifying our pandemic response team. So I will complete everything on here with our phone numbers. The second piece is to talk about our particular school protocols and procedures. So that's what I've been doing with you here. Talking about what our procedures will be like, and we'll go over everything again when we come back officially on the 17th and on the, what is that, Friday, the 21st, because teachers and paras will be together. Extracurricular activities, I already mentioned everything's virtual. We talked about supply lists, we talked about orientation, talked about the library. The next piece is school community awareness and communication. We have our Saturday newsletter, our Facebook page. The district is providing us with scripts of things to say in the event that someone does have a positive COVID-19 diagnosis, and how to follow those proper procedures and protocols. We'll be putting things on our ITV program. You're welcome to do things during your Harmony time to meet the requirements necessary. And then we talked about volunteers already. The next section is on monitoring student and staff health procedures, clinic procedures. So Williams and King are updating the contact information. Adriana will do immunizations. Kristen, and some information from Mark Wilcox for number 18. So that will come in time. I've already talked about the temperature checks. The isolation room is going to be where the school store used to be, and between Miss Williams' office and the clinic. So if someone has a temperature of over 100, they will wait 10 to 15 minutes. I'll come back, I'll take their temperature again. If it's still over 100, we'll take them to the isolation room, and we will begin following the procedures outlined by the school district at that time. Ms. Detling will be monitoring everyone's attendance and reporting anything that's out of the norm. We have our clinic backup staff in place. And again, the district is providing us with the scripts and procedures of what to do and what to say in the event that someone is diagnosed. We're asking for sub-plans. I think I said this already, but just in case, 3 weeks of emergency sub-plans instead of 1. We've talked about the custodial procedures. Ms. Detling will be going around, I think I mentioned this, making sure that you have soap and paper towels and everything is properly cleaned in your classrooms. I think I've mentioned this, but just in case, I ordered hand sanitizers that are refillable, that clip onto your keys or your badge with our school logo. So that it should be here soon. And then we've talked about the whole child supports and things that Ms. Royer, Ms. Valenti, Ms. Kizzy, and Ms. Detling will be doing, as well as our ESE team. We've talked about our face coverings. We've talked about the traffic patterns. And then, like I said, arrival procedures, we've got dismissal procedures we're gonna need help with. And then school nutrition, as soon as Ms. Bamman is back, we will be going through all of these things. We've talked about transportation. We've talked about technology. Safety drills, we'll discuss later once we have more guidance about fire drills, lockdown drills, and how to maintain social distance with all of that. And now I will take questions from the chat box or anything pertaining to this document.
I have a question.
Okay.
In reference to e-learning students and face-to-face students. will face-to-face campus students still have all of the technology that we've been able to have in the past? Or is that technology going to be less because of e-learning students?
Well, we've ordered more devices and the district has ordered, they said 10,000 more devices. So we're hoping to have more. And in addition, we've applied over the summer. We had a committee of folks that met with me and we submitted a one-to-one device plan to the district. So hopefully
Okay.
we're going to keep moving. My goal, my dream is for every child to have a device all day long, whether it's at school or at home.
Okay, great. Thank
Whatever
you.
device they have to go both places. You're welcome.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'll just go through the list and give everyone that's on a chance, and then I'll break to the next group. Ms. White, any questions from you?
Yes, for the requirements for pre-K, are they required to wear a mask on the bus? And if they are, how are we supposed to get them on if they do not want to wear one?
They have to wear a mask. That is required. They did talk about that during the school board meeting yesterday. There will be an attendant for ESC students on the bus that will make sure that they wear their masks. Any other questions for Ms. White? Okay, we'll go to Ms. Bolin.
Yeah, go, hurry.
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Ms. Woods?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Gavin?
No, sorry, no.
It's
Take you
okay.
off the mute.
Okay, Ms. Kizzy?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Lewis?
No, I'm good for
Ms.
now.
Meek?
No, thank you.
Ms. Toro?
No, thank you.
Ms. Homard?
No, ma'am. I'm good.
Okay, Ms. Raymundi?
I actually do have a question.
Is that Ms. Raymundi?
No, this is White.
Okay, what's your question?
I had requested a teacher for my daughter, but that teacher moved to another grade level. So can I request someone else?
I have that on my list to call you about once I'm done with interviews tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
Yep, you're on my list. I knew you would ask me that. All right, where was I? Marcia, you have any questions?
Probably a lot, but I think I'm okay for right now.
Okay, did I get everybody? I'm trying to go through the list. I think I've called on everyone. Anyone else? Going once, going twice.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Squire.
I'm on our site and I'm looking at the schedule. I'm sure, I don't know who did it, most likely Ms. Detlin with the procedures in the morning. Is that going to change? Seeing
Say
that
that
we're not
again?
sure. The morning duty, the morning and
Oh,
afternoon
yes.
duty. It's going to
Yes, we
change,
have
right?
not updated the duty schedules at all. All we updated was the master schedule. So we'll be doing duty schedules once we have more information next week.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, at this time, I'm going to end the call and stop the recording for those that were not able to make it to the meetings today and share this. Thank you so much. And as always, you can call, text, email anytime if anything pops up. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.